Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And as I go through my adventure, my mental health, gray sheep, dating nightmare, and everything in between nightmare, adventure. Yeah, it's like the adventure is kind of a nightmare right now. But don't forget river of racism, which our country is displaying and showing and exhibiting every single day. But anyway, I started watching like while I work on my reading bingo cards and trying to get my Etsy store to be something. I watch videos for the noise, but I've been watching and finding a lot of videos that I relate to in so many different ways. The let's see. The Lydia Poet one is, oh my gosh, like I need to go back and rewatch that one, but when it comes to women's rights, liberations, proving that she can be more than just a womb, because a lot of men, especially Christian, religious, MAGA, Republican men, that's about all they think of us, and or the sons of the MAGA Republicans, because yeah, Mr. No Heart was a product of a MAGA mom. And so he says he's a Democrat, but he has a lot of, yeah, toxic, terrible MAGA views or whatever. But anyway, it's like while watching Toxic Town, whew, the first episode hit pretty hard for quite a few reasons. And like one thing I will say right now to all of the women out there, to all of the women out there, if a man tries to tell you your worth by if you have kids, or like, 'cause I've already talked about this months ago, but probably going to redo it again at some point. But if someone tries to tell you that you're only worth how many kids you have, or if you have kids, or how many kids you have by the same individual, even though they have kids by, because look at our president right now. Look at some of the people he has hired. A lot of them have kids by numerous women, and a lot of people within the Republican Party even have kids that they won't admit to, that they forget. Like, don't forget about that one athlete from Georgia or Texas. I forgot, like the one he was talking about vampires and zombies or something like that a couple years ago. Yeah, he forgot he had, like, he forgot. Like, but yeah, a man is allowed to forget. It's like, it's so crazy how men are allowed to cheat on women. Men are allowed to treat women like trash. Men are allowed to not want kids because on the Bumble app, alone, do you know how many men say they do not want kids? And they don't, like, even some men in their description where they say, if you have kids, swipe left, don't bother. But men are allowed to say that, and no one is going to say anything about them. Or men say, I have kids, but I'm looking for someone who does, like, I found a few of them, especially on Facebook dating or whatever. Like, there's some who only wanted me because I don't have kids, but then they have kids. But then they tell me that they make sure their women stay correct. And I'm like, okay, you're acting like they're dogs or they're pets. And also, if you can't handle another man in the picture, like, if like, then that mean, like, no, you like your power. If you're not man enough, because like part of me is just like, so if I had a kid with someone else, I wouldn't be worthy because then you would have to be man enough to tolerate another man, and you're not going to allow that, but you expect me to tolerate your other, like, and it's like one of them had 5 kids. 5 kids. One had one, but one had 5. And this has happened more than those 2 times, but this is when I actually had the conversation with these jerks, because it's like, because with the guy with the 5 kids, like, he knew I wanted to adopt and foster, and he's like, why bother? You don't need to. Just help me take care of mine. Just be a happy stepmom. And I'm like, no, I want kids where, like, by law, I am the mother. And there are other men, not this one, but not other guys who'd be like, well, you should have already had them by now. And I'm like, okay, let's think about that, especially from a religious Christian point of view, because I was trying to do things, and that's the thing, like, trying to do the things the Christian way, but also trying to make sure that you're not making a mistake. Yeah, a lot of people end up in divorce for different reasons, which is why we have default divorce, but now they're trying to take that away from people. And that's one reason why I say, don't get politically married. Because if they're going to take that away from you, especially as women, it's like, we don't know what other laws is like, because they're already trying to take our right to vote away in different ways. And they quote unquote, like, no, that's not what we're doing. That law mostly only hurts women. So, I mean, some men might have changed their name for different reasons or security reasons to make sure their family can't find them, but that's not that many. But all women who got married and changed their names now, because that's one reason, like, if you're gonna get married, do not change your name. Zendaya, like, okay, your fiance has a wonderful last name, but okay, wait until, at least wait. Like, I'm not saying wait to get married, but wait to change your last name. Okay, like, okay, because you don't want to. We don't want you to lose your wife. Like, come on now, come on. Are you, like, let's stick together. I'm trying to have you back. So, and I guess it's a blessing that no one's wanted to marry me. It's like, I've told you guys a story about Mr. No Heart. He was married for 1 year, and during that year, his ex-wife cheated on him with the dishwasher at a bar that she was karaokeing at. Yeah. And he has 2 daughters, and he calls them mistakes, or he called them mistakes at least 8 times. It was more than 8 times, but 8 times that I remember. And but anyway, I say all of that because anybody can be a parent. Anybody. Even someone in Pontiac, Michigan, who one day decides to leave the house, leave her children, and doesn't come back for years, and the kids are literally trying to figure it out. Like, because part of me is like, how did they survive? That needs to be a Lifetime movie. Lifetime? Lifetime. Come on now. Work with us. This is a real life situation. That, and also the Detroit mom who lost 2 children. That's another Lifetime movie. I know a lot of representation up in Michigan right now, but another Lifetime movie. And oh yeah, there's another one outside of Michigan. I've been reading too many news articles lately, but okay, I'll remember that one later, because it reminds me of what that disgusting, terrible politician, she was trying to put down Kamala because she doesn't have traditional kids. She has step kids, but not traditional kids. And trying to remember that no good, crazy, in my opinion, she's a no good, crazy, bigoted, and I was like, just, ooh, yeah, I have a lot more words I want to say about her, but Basically, she's no good. She's no good. Yeah, okay, now I feel a little bit better. But she said that her kids make her humble. And in my eyes, in my ears, when I hear that, when I saw her say it, it disgusted me. Because anybody can be a parent. And for some, their kids don't make them humble. And for some, it shows the ugly side. For some parents have mental issues. Some have mental hate and pain. And once they have kids, that's who they put the pain on. Including if you have children with a disability, sometimes parents target you. Sometimes the person who is supposed to love you the most, they target the pain on you. Watching Toxic City, it's like my heart went out for the moms in several ways because these women wanted kids. And it's like that's a frustrating part that within our political system right now, they're just like, oh, the women just have so much fun aborting. No, like, be quiet. It's like if you don't know about miscarriages, if you don't know about birth defects and things like that, and literally these women are going through different mental pain in different situations because of their pregnancies and the end result of their pregnancies. But then also the fact that one of the main characters, her man, I don't know if that's her husband or not, but is like once he saw his child with a deformed hand, he wanted nothing to do with his son. Nothing to do with, and he kind of put the blame on her. And he left her. He left her because their child has a deformity. And being born with a disability, sometimes I wonder, am I blessed? And yeah, I'm disgusted, like part of me cringes at the thought, but am I blessed that doctors blamed me for walking the way I do, and they kept saying the pain was in my head, that I don't have a disability, that I'm making it up, I just want the attention? Because if I was diagnosed at birth, what would have happened? Because I still haven't had a full conversation with my father, and I never will with my mom because she died before, like, and that, do you know the mental pain that causes, like, me? It's like, do you know the pain that would cause anybody who they were born with a disability, but doctors said they were lying. So for over 30 years, going through mental ABUSC, and you are not able to get diagnosed until you are in so much pain that you can no longer live life much at all. But by that time, the parent that did majority, like 90% of the ABUSC died. They're dead. So now that they're diagnosed, sometimes I wonder, I know she would have never apologized. She would have just kept telling me, I just did what God wanted me to do. I prayed about it. God wanted me to do this. So yeah, whenever people tell me there's no such thing as church trauma, I don't have it. Like, I don't have any Christianly words for you at all. Yeah, if I say what I want to say, yeah. Mm. Anyway. But while watching the video, watching the dad leave because he was so excited when he first heard that she was pregnant, and he was so proud and happy. But once that, like, watching his body language, hearing the tone of his voice, and him literally trying to leave while they were out of the house, trying to escape the imperfection that you can't, because sometimes, like, I put the blame on myself. I am still tackling that because sometimes I'm like, if I wasn't born this way, I would have been able to find a job easily because I kept being told that you have great education, you have great skills and experience, and but then trying to but then I always ended up with either leftover jobs or they figured out how to not hire me, or they were racist or bigoted or ableist or sexist or whatever. And if you haven't heard the videos, catch up. I think I have almost 280 now, so catch up. But watching, I don't know, it's just like I just started episode 2 or whatever, but then it also makes me think about the amazing lawyer Woo Young Woo, and what, like, watching some of the scenes with her father, especially when he stepped on the Lego and he was in pain, but she just kept playing with the Lego and he was just shocked, like, you don't care how I feel. But with her, like, being on the spectrum, it's like she doesn't understand. Like, he literally had to create a map of emotion. And so sometimes you would see her go in her bedroom and she would look up, like, okay, what emotion? And he's like, oh, that's angry. He's angry. Or she would, like, oh, smile. Okay, he's happy. So, but like, looking at how the different parents can react, do react, and then remembering how I will never forget the day when I got diagnosed, because that same awful, pathetic doctor, Dr. Biondo, yeah, it's like, I'm going to name almost all the doctors. I don't even care anymore. But Dr. Biondo, who at first he was laughing at me during the first appointment. Oh, you'll walk it off. It's okay. Oh, why is this way? And it was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then I got to the point, like, I was supposed to have another appointment with him, but guess how long the waiting period was to see him again? I think it was supposed to be 3 to 6 months. I want to say it was a 6 month wait for him, because I'm the best neurologist in Michigan. I'm the most talented doctor, so you should be so happy to see me. It's like he had such an ego. And with some of you doctors, calm down your ego, because once you calm down your ego, maybe you'll be able to help somebody. Maybe you'll actually listen to your patients, because he was too busy laughing. He was too busy laughing. So during, like, I think however long it was, like I said, it was either it was 3 or 6 months. I forgot which one, but I remember it took, I think, 9 months. It was almost a year later when, like, because I kept getting calls, oh, he's not able to see you yet. And I remember asking, well, is there any other doctor I can see? Oh, well, he's one of the best. No, he's the best in Michigan. No, you want to see him. You have to see him. Okay, well, I can't wait that long. I'm in a lot of pain. Oh, well, and in his notes, he says just walk it off, but he's going to see you. Okay, if I'm saying I'm in a lot of pain, but you keep saying that I need to just walk it off, like, you're literally going to just tell me to walk it off, and I'm telling you I am in excruciating pain. But by the time they were going to set up another appointment, I I was literally in bed in fetal position in so much pain on some, like, doctors were guessing different medications that would help with the, like, I still kind of have evidence of the ghost pain. Like, I now have the symptoms of ghost pain because of how traumatizing and the mental health component of the actual pain. And because I remember after my surgery, I was scared to move. And I remember my physical therapist was like, "Why do you seem so scared?" And I was just like, "You don't know the pain I was in." And I remember I almost started crying. And it's like the next day, I guess she looked over my notes and she was like, "I am so sorry. Oh my gosh." And she was like, "I could not imagine that." And yeah, but anyway, if you are a doctor, listen to your patients. If you're a parent, listen to your child, because I have heard from quite a few people, like through my social media adventure, people with disabilities saying how their parents or doctors did not listen to them, how people at school did not listen to them, and like even adults saying when they would go to work and, oh, just take a painkiller, just take this, take that, whatever, and it doesn't help, and people just laugh them off. Then it's nothing. Then if it's like it must be in your head. But then being born with a disability is out of our control. We cannot control our DNA. I did not control my DNA, but I still blame myself. It's like, because for over 30 years, I was told that I was making it up. I was told that I just wanted attention and I was a liar. I got spanked so many. It's like, and the thing is, like, when I try to tell my father about this, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, because you worked the night shift. Yeah, because you went out with your friends and stuff. Like, my mom was smart. She waited until you are out of the house so she can call me into her room to close the door. And that's when the nightmares happened and occurred. And it's like I was so scared to walk around the house. And it's crazy because sometimes when we were at other family members' house or houses and stuff like that, sometimes they'd be like, "Baby, why you seem so scared to walk?" Yeah, because if I tripped over myself while at a family member's house, that would embarrass my mother. And that means that I'm going to be punished when I get home. And so I would walk so slowly, so carefully, and try my best to make sure that I didn't trip, I didn't misstep, or I didn't touch anything. The fear I had. But then sometimes I wonder if I was diagnosed, would my parents have stayed together? Sometimes, like, let's just say, like, a lot of kids understand when I say, should they have? I don't know if they should. Like, I mean, I guess, you know, thank God they got through it, but sometimes I wonder. Yeah, I wonder. Well, anyway, because after I got diagnosed, my dad admits, like, sometimes he feels like he is to blame. He didn't tell me this, but he told other family members, and that's the part that hurts the most. I didn't hear this from him. He never told me his own emotions about my situation. And a situation that I tried to tell every time I would tell him about it years ago. Just go to the doctors. Well, if the doctors say nothing's wrong with you, nothing's wrong with you. And if nothing's wrong with you, that means you have to shake it off and keep going. You're strong. Like, yeah, be strong. Don't be weak. That's what I was told. That's what I was told. But now I'm diagnosed. But now no one wants to tell me their true emotions, how they really feel. And when I try to tell them about how I really feel because of what happened in my past, oh, well, she was just doing what she thought God would have wanted her to do. She didn't know any better. She was hard on you because, like, since the doctor said nothing was wrong with you, she just tried to make sure that you were going to be the best person you could possibly be. It's like, I hope you don't blame her. She did it out of love. No, she didn't. I've said in another episode, the way she treated me, I know she never loved me. The way she treated me, she hated that I was different. No one will ever change my mind because I'm going to have some Gray Sheep episodes that I'm probably only going to have on Patreon, where I'm going to tell you what she did to me. I'm going to tell you what she did to me. Some people tease me or mock me because I hate pictures. I hate mirrors. I hate reflections of myself. There's a reason for that. And part of the reason is because of my disability. I don't like, and that's seeing myself as seeing my disability. And when other people see me, you're too pretty to walk like that. You're too pretty to be. No, just go to the doctors and let them get you fixed. You don't look like anything's wrong with you. Or men, I would marry you if you didn't walk like a cripple. I would want to date you if you weren't an R word. Oh, you got all these degrees, but you're nothing but a R word. This is the judgment, this is the life. And that's one reason why I'm glad I never got married, because like, if I had gotten married at the young age that my mother wanted me, because I'm still going to tell you about the guy from church. Ooh, George. Yeah. It's really bad when I realized he is the man that my mother always wanted to marry, and that's not who I would ever want to marry. So when I broke up with him, he still called my perfect sister and my mother, and they were trying to trick me. I'll repeat that. They tried to trick me to dating him again. And my mother was so cruel, so horrible, so just an evil. And the thing is, like, she called me evil for not marrying him. She literally said that I'm an evil person for not marrying him. And I'm like, it would have never worked. We are not compatible. That is the man. I dated him because he met all of your criteria. Because you always say how much of a disappointment I am in your life. So I was trying to make up for it for at least marrying somebody that you would accept. But I have to realize I would never want to be with this man for the rest of my life. I would not have been happy. And I've said like many stories about him, but I would have never been happy with him. Never. And the fact, like, he does not realize that him dating another woman just to get me to be jealous. My perfect sister even told me, because I noticed it, but then my twin sister, he literally called her and told her that. But anyway, I will tell the whole story because you're not going to believe the whole story of that pathetic, despicable mess right there. And I have so many other thoughts with Toxic Town, but I just have to. Thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. Doctors, listen, like, send this to your doctors. Send this to, if you have any family members that are doctors. Listen to your patients. Take off your ego Don't take off your medical school education, just take off your ego. Okay? Okay, perfect. Great.